or you forgot, my name's Samantha and I have alopecia. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a story time chit chat about my challenges with alopecia and how I've stayed positive and overcome that. This is going to be sort of like a mental health type video talking about ways that you can stay positive and how I've even used some of these methods that I'm going to share with you today to be who I am today and be able to be so open and positive about this autoimmune disorder. This video is actually inspired by 2 questions that I received to get questions for my Q&A part 2 in my Q&A series, which were just questions that you guys asked. Go check that out if you're interested. There's a lot of great information. However, I didn't end up using those questions because I thought I could make this video. So one of the questions was talking about what was your biggest challenge with alopecia throughout your years, and the other one was how did you feel when your hair started falling out and how have you stayed positive now today. So I'm going to be touching more upon my challenges and how I've overcome them. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So to start off this video, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a perspective about me. I did have a few challenges. It may not seem like it because I'm always so outgoing, positive, and very open to answering questions and everything about my hair loss. But I was not always like that to this extent. I would talk about it and say that it was okay to ask me questions, but there were definitely a period of time in general where I would say, yeah, I have alopecia, but I wouldn't go out and explain every little bit of my story to people. In like middle school, beginning of high school, when it was obvious that I didn't have any alopecia symptoms or hair loss, I didn't really talk about it. And then when my hair started falling out in 10th grade, I had to talk about it, and I did feel some issues. Now, if you've seen one of my more recent videos, you probably know this challenge that I had, and it was my eyebrows. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but if you want to go check out those challenges with my hair loss and my eyebrows, I highly suggest you go check out my microblading video because I talk about all of that there. So my eyebrows fell out for like most of elementary school. I had it for a little bit of middle school. They slowly started to fall out in 10th, 11th grade. And it was very difficult because that's when I started learning how to do eyebrow makeup and all that stuff, and it was very, very challenging to do eyebrows with little hair to draw with. I felt at this time, now I'm in high school, I was more aware of my features and doing makeup, and I was like, if I don't have eyebrows, I feel like it's like a whole part of my face is missing. It shapes your face. So I got really stressed out with having to draw on my eyebrows every single day. Like, even if it was really poorly drawn, I always had something on my face. I was very insecure about my eyebrows at this time before I actually got them microbladed in junior year. Once I did that, I was very happy. That is a challenge that I've overcome, and again, if you want to learn more, check out my video on microblading. I'll leave it in one of the information things that come up on the top somewhere. Now another really like the main challenge was having to deal with just, this is gonna sound so horrible, just people in general. Everyone around me had hair. People would, in school, walk around with these cool hairstyles, have their hair up in nice buns, have their hair in such pretty braids, and curl their hair and do all this stuff, dye their hair. I never did any of that. I thought if I dyed my hair, maybe it would make my hair fall out or something. I just never wanted to touch my hair. I didn't really do braids or straighten my hair or curl my hair because it was too thin at times. I'd have spots. I was concerned that my spots would show. My hairline got high all over. If I put my hair up, people are going to notice it if I don't wear a headband. Things of that sort. I always felt a little bit insecure about my appearance. I felt like my hair kind of made me feel a little less pretty, even though inside I knew that I was very pretty and that it shouldn't really affect how people see me. But I know that there's people out there that will look at you and notice that or something. But that was always very difficult for me because throughout my hair loss, I had really thin and short hair. I had to cut my hair to like a pixie cut. When I look back, I did do a lot of different things to my hair to try and get it to grow and stay thick, but it just all ended up never working out. And my hair was always it was on and off, thin and thick throughout my school years, so it was very difficult to keep up with and manage mentally and literally. So that was always something that I had a challenge with. And to go with that, it was kind of people, I feel like I'm being so self-centered when I talk about this, but listening to people complain about their hair really bothered me, especially when they did it in front of me. At this point in school or at the skating rink, knows that I have it, and that you can tell. But when people would be like, oh yeah, like, I hate my hair, I wish I could just like cut off, this is like, oh, I don't like this color, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. I like think to myself, I never said it out loud, but I always thought to myself, like, be grateful that you have hair. I never know when it's gonna fall out or come back, and I don't know how whatever my situation was at the time, I don't know how it's gonna change. So you know what? It always bothers me. It still bothers me a little bit, but it's not as bad. I feel like that was just being insensitive or just being oblivious to maybe my feelings. It is what it is. I really hope that doesn't sound selfish or insensitive on my part. Maybe it's me that I have to realize that not everyone is going to understand what I'm going through, so they might just not realize. I don't know. I'm rambling. I don't know how to put how that makes me feel in words. It just irks me. But at the same time, I know that it's okay. It's nothing that I can do to make people realize. It's just how people feel. I can't stop people's feelings, I guess, but not important. I'm rambling. I'm gonna stop talking about that. But another struggle that I had was my medication. I was taking a medication for over 12 years from like the end of kindergarten, and I recently stopped at the beginning of March. It's called squaric acid. It's a topical medication. It's in a bottle, it's a liquid. You put it on with a Q-tip and just apply it directly to your head. It caused immense, extreme itchiness and rashes everywhere and all throughout school, and it stopped for a little bit, but it picked up more recently again when I was in school this past year as a senior. I would just get so itchy. I'd have these breakup rashes just pop up all over both of my arms. I'm also still itchy sometimes, actually. It still happens, but it was so distracting in school, in skating, in just anything, because you never know when a rash is gonna pop up. It's like little dots. Honestly, I think I even have one right now. If I show, let me see. Where is it? It's like right here. And sometimes it's like, I could even find remnants from them because they're literal like hives, and it's always so uncomfortable. That was always really hard to go through in school. I felt like sometimes I would be distracted in class, or I'd miss something in class because I'd ask to go to the nurse, and it was always something that bothered me in school, and I always had a challenge with it. It did go away every once in a while when I lower my medication, but yeah, if you see, I have a whole thing going on over here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's happening right now actually, which is kind of ironic. Maybe it's because I'm talking about it, so I'm thinking about it. I always felt like I was being distracted by my itchiness, my medicine in school every once in a while because of these episodes. And it just always, you never know what's gonna pop up, so it just sometimes would keep me on edge when I knew that I was like really going extra hard on my medication, because whenever I was doing a lot more than usual, and I know that I'd wake up the next morning and have rashes, or my head would be extremely itchy. Some days I would not stop scratching my head. And that is a challenge that I've also kind of figured out because I stopped it, but I still get rashes. I think it's still in my system, but that is what it is as well. I'm happy that I'm off it because now I can live a little bit more comfortably, a little more freely, because I'm just not doing anything right now. I'm just letting my body recharge. That is a little bit about my challenges, And there are so many ways that I have overcome them, and I did describe some of them anyways, but I'm going to share a few of my key points that I have used to just keep myself positive now. And I've done it all throughout my life anyways as it is, but there's a few more recently that I focus on that I'm going to share today. The first one is pretty obvious, and you're probably going to be like, why are you telling me this? I know this anyways. And that is optimism. You have to be optimistic. You have to think on the bright side of everything. And with this is the important part of what I mean by optimistic. Alopecia has a mind of its own. So if your hair is fallen out and you have spots, or you're like me and you have no hair at all, you can be optimistic and be like, my hair could grow back whenever it wants. So cool. I will just be relaxed and just wait to see what happens. And hopefully maybe in the future, whether I'm taking a medication or not, my hair will grow back. You never know what's gonna happen. So that's what I mean by being optimistic, just looking on the bright side of the situation and remembering that important piece of information about alopecia. Now, the second thing that I've been thinking of more recently, now that I've just gotten older, is just being in the moment. Just looking at the present, what's going on to you right now. Don't be thinking about this negative thing that's going on. Think about everything that's going on in your life. I'm sure there's at least one thing that is exciting, that's gonna be happening soon, or I'm sure there's something good that's happening to you today. Like an example of a good thing that happened to me today was, I had to go and develop a picture. I went to a CVS and just developed it. The first one came out horribly. I think the printer was messed up. I was able to go talk to a worker there and they just let me do one. Just redo it. I didn't have to pay for the messed up one. So that was something really nice because I was concerned I was gonna have to pay a little extra, even though those pictures are like 40 cents, but you get the point. It was like a nice little thing that someone let me do. So that was actually a good exercise. I'm sure there's something, even if it's a small thing, there's always something that's good that happened to you in your day or your week, and just make you forget all of the bad things that you think about your hair. Because also, I think this is like a scientific thing. If you think negative, it does affect your body. If you tell yourself negative thoughts, it's going to affect you. So always think positive. It really keeps your body rejuvenated in a sense, I guess you could say. Another thing is think about what makes you you. Of course, as I've said multiple times at the end of every video so far, and I'm gonna say it again, you are you with or without your hair. You are very unique with alopecia. But if you don't want to associate yourself with that, or you want to think about other things that make you special, try and find those. For me, I always figure skated. So I would say something unique about me is my figure skating skills, just my love for skating, or my video editing skills because I love making video projects. Just think about other things that you do that make you unique. That could be for someone else being a fabulous artist, or really good at a certain sport, or maybe just having a really cool talent or something that no one else can do. Now, my final thing that I want to share is a little bit deeper, and this is something I've really embraced most recently. This might be a little bit more for my older audience if I have any here. It's that you have alopecia for a reason. In my personal opinion and through my beliefs, I believe someone up there gave me alopecia for a reason, and not as a punishment, but something to keep me growing as a person and maybe see things in a different way that I definitely would not have if I did not have this autoimmune disorder. It has helped me grow stronger than I already was, more outgoing than I already was, and it helped me love and respect myself even more because of all the changes that happened to me, and having to love myself and respect the process all throughout all those different changes. So if I never had alopecia, I would never I would be taking everything that I explained earlier that other people have done, I would be taking all of my hair for granted and not realize how much gratitude I should be having for having this on my head. Having hair on my head, on my eyebrows, and on my eyes. Like, for me, I've always been a leader and very outgoing, and now with my second, third, this might be like my fourth round of hair loss, but second complete round of hair loss, I've learned to take my leadership skills and put them to the test, do this YouTube channel. So that's kind of an example of where I'm coming from with this specific way of thinking. For someone else, it might be using your charitability to go and help other people, whether they have alopecia or not. It may be teaching yourself just in general to love yourself. All of those things are definitely a few of the character building traits and perspectives that I have learned from having alopecia. I can't wait to find out what other things I'm going to learn. I want you to know that you are valid, whether or not you have alopecia or not, you have hair or not, or any other thing that you have or don't have. You are unique. Just find those things that make you confident, unique, and strong, and take this opportunity to grow. That's what I've learned to do, and it has definitely changed me for the better, and I'm sure it can help you and change you for the better as well. Now, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope that it helped you out. I definitely rambled, but editing Sam, I'm sure will make it work. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and put on those bell notifications so that you don't miss another upload from me. Also, as always, please make sure you share this with anybody else who might need it. Don't forget, like I said earlier in this video and in every video that I have posted, you are you with or without your hair. Bye guys.